That's my happy place.
I couldn't even hear it anyway. Hello. Welcome to the happy hour. My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I am excited to be here with you for episode 2 of season 1 of
Pew,
the
pew, pew,
Happy
pew, pew,
Hour
pew.
Show. Yes! Bunnie Mae is my people, and I am going to introduce her in just 1 second. For those that don't know me, my name is Lindsey Vertner. I am a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I teach millennial moms and startup entrepreneurs how to master their mindset and balance their lives through self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline, what I call the 3 pillars of self. Now, before I introduce my guest, you already know that we got to play the intro. Yes. And I'm going to Yes. So nice. You got to play it twice. So welcome. If you missed it, my name is Lindsey Vertner, and I am excited because my guest tonight for episode 2 of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner has amazing energy. She's always bubbly, and I love me some bubbly people, right? She's always smiling. She's always happy. And anytime I see her pop up on my timeline or in my feed, she brings me smiles. Whether it's her witty remarks or her funny posts, she does it all. She is an influencer. She is a blogger. She is a celebrity correspondent. She is the Miss Bunnie Mae extraordinaire, okay? She has been on the cover of Fashion Gxd Magazine, and being on that cover led her to her purpose as far as empowering women, and she took her passion for empowering women and combined it with her love of shoes and started a business called Safe. And we're going to talk about that. But without further ado, welcome Miss Bunnie Mae.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. I am so excited. I did a pregame for the happy hour and I am pumped. Let me tell you, I am ready, okay?
Yes. Listen, I hope you guys have your drinks, okay? Listen, what you put in your cup does not matter, whether it has alcohol or whether it doesn't. That is completely your choice. But grab a drink and join the chat right now with me and Miss Bunnie Mae. And make sure you put your comments and your questions down below because they may be answered live. We love interaction, okay? Yes. Alex Roberts says, Bunnie Mae. Hey.
Hi, Alex.
Hi. Awesome. Well, let's get started because you have multiple business ventures. And I know like you have the Bunny Hole, you're a blogger. I know you interview celebrities on the red carpet. Just give us a rundown of all the things that Bunnie Mae does.
So I am Bunnie the blogger. I actually started out as Bunnie the blonde blogger because my signature hair was blonde. I'm a media correspondent, so I write for about 6 different national magazines. I also am a red carpet host, so you catch me on the red carpet doing interviews and and people like to tag me with the celebrity title. I do interview celebrities. It is a huge part of what I do, but I love interacting with my business owners, my entrepreneurs, my women. And, everything that I do revolves around women in some way, shape, or form, whether it's giving them some bad heels or giving them some kind words or just saying, yes, sis, let's get it. Okay.
Yes, yes. So tell us, what has been like your favorite person to interview? Is that okay to ask?
Oh, yes, that is okay to ask. I actually have a couple of favorites. I think my first celebrity interview was with Dominic Santana. He played Suge Knight in the Tupac movie.
Ooh.
And I was so nervous. And we got on live and we just started talking. And he was like, "You're so natural. This is so much fun." And I was like, "Who, me?" Okay. That was one of my favorites. Also, Nivea. I absolutely love interview. I think I've interviewed her at least 4 times just because I love her energy. Like anytime I'm just like, "Hey sis, what you doing today?" Like her energy just exudes. It's just exuberant. It's beautiful. So definitely one of my favorite people. And also Miss Bo Talley. Mrs. Bo Talley, if you have not seen her, you've seen her. She's the older woman who she never reveals her age, but she's in very good shape and you just don't know how old she is. She's never told her age in any interview. So her energy, her positive words, like she just is phenomenal. So those are some of my favorite people to interview.
No tally. And nobody has like ever outed her age or anything?
Never. That sounds like a sister, a cousin. So, our job as reporters is to get the lowdown. And I just am having the hardest time figuring it out. And it's been at least like 4 years. I'm like, "Ma'am, can you just like at this point you're 4 years older? Can you just tell me?" So yes, I absolutely love it.
Let's take it back just a little bit. So before you became Bunnie the blogger, who were you? How did you get to where you are today?
So I actually have an interesting background. Well, let's start from the very educational background. I graduated from Eastern Michigan University with my degree in communications. Mm-hmm. So not only is this something that I'm good at, it's something that I went to school for. I literally have been talking my entire life. Like when I found out that you can have a career talking, I'm like, "Oh, y'all gonna pay me to talk? Like, I get goofy stuff, you gonna pay me to talk?" Okay. So yes, I went to school for communications from Eastern Michigan. But a little, before that, about 7 or 8 years ago, I actually was homeless. And I moved from that. I kind of built myself up from that level to the level that we're at now. So it's just been a lot of interesting things that's happened in my life, a lot of kind of twists and turns, ups and downs, things that I never would have expected to happened. So thank God, we are where we are. And we were able to overcome a lot of different situations. And, we just have a beautiful outcome.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit more about that experience from being homeless, because I actually was just talking with someone the other day who is homeless. And then I've actually ran into a lot of people, and probably since even before COVID started, like since the fall, where if you looked at them online, you wouldn't guess that they were homeless. But then in behind the scene conversations, it was like, "Hey, I want to confide in you that I'm homeless right now." So just what is that like? How do you get to that place, or how do you recover from that place?
It was really difficult. It was a really hard point in my life. Anything about my background, if you all know, like I actually was raised in a middle-class family. So it wasn't like there was a need for money. I never went without anything. I grew up. And when I became 17, I started making decisions that would later on affect me in my life. I had my oldest daughter, I'm sorry, I had her when I was 19. So that made a huge impact on my life. And I just wasn't stable. I went from house to house. I wasn't, a couple of nights I slept in my car. Like it was some really dark times. But I am very spiritual. I am very religious. My father is a pastor. I'm not perfect. But so I had a lot of prayer, a lot of I realized who in my life at that time were there. They were there for me versus the circumstances. And that made a huge impact on who I am and why I give so much to others and how I work with others and how I interact with others, because I've been in situations where I probably shouldn't have made it out of, just being honest. Like, there are certain things that every girl has those days where you like, ooh, every couple of days you have those hangovers. You wake up from and be like, I'm never drinking again. So there were some nights that I woke up and I was like, I shouldn't be here right now. Like, this is a really dark time for me. It was a really hard time for me. And a lot of Black women don't like to admit that they go to therapy or that they have been to therapy. But I saw a counselor at that time, and it was very, very helpful for me. I was also in a abusive relationship, and the turning point for me was when I was my daughter was 1, and we were arguing and we were yelling and screaming, and I couldn't find her. I'm looking for her. I'm like, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? I went into her room and she was hiding behind her door. And this is a 1-year-old. And that had a lot to say about, that was my turning point. That was the point, was like, I got to get my shit together. I have to, I got to grow up. I have to get my life together. I have to make better decisions. And I just started from there. I met my fiance and we just started to build. He said, yeah, girl, you get these. So, we started to build. We started to grow. I grew my confidence back. I started going back to church. I started talking to my counselor, and I didn't hold so much of that in. So that's why I'm able to now to kind of share my story a little more. Like, I'm still very private at times, but I'm able to share my story now because I want to help women. I know what it's like to be in situations, and people look at me so often. They're like, oh, you just do this and you do that and you have all this. And I'm like, girl, I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Like, let me tell you. So, I want to be that beacon of hope that I didn't have at that time in my life.
Nice. So there's actually 2 questions that I want to ask you. One of them, what would you say to those that are experiencing anything like that? I know Kamika said that, wow, we have a similar background. So what would you say is that very first step to changing your life around and getting out of a situation like that?
It's very similar to having an addiction, where they say the first thing you have to do is admit that you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I had to admit that I was in a messed up situation. When you're in times like that, you find solace in certain things. So you either drink or you smoke or you hang out with friends constantly, or you take it to social media. You find an escape from reality, right? So one of the things that I had to do is I literally had to let go of my escape, which at the time was drinking. I had to let go of what my escape was, and I had to realize that I have an issue. Like, I can't fix this problem. Drinking made it better momentarily, but it didn't fix my problem. So I had to admit that I actually had an issue and I needed to fix it. So once I was able to actually admit that, I was able to start using the resources that the city helped me quite a bit. So I was able to actually use the resources that were provided to me to kind of get on my feet and kind of say, hey, you know what? We got to change some things around.
Yeah. I love that you were using the resources that you had, right? Because something that I always say is that you can't make logical solutions from emotional places. So one, you have to admit that there's an issue going on, but then you have to get up out of your feelings to feel them momentarily, but you have to get out of that space, and you can't make changes whenever you are in victim mode, because when you're in victim mode, you give up the power to make changes.
There you go. You said it.
Power that you have. So you have to, find a way to level your head so that you can see all the resources around you. It's like, you ever had those negative people that you're around and it's like, oh my God, I got a problem for every situation. It's just complaining and complaining. And it's like, geez, Louise, if you would stop complaining for 1 second and look the other way, you would see the answer to your problem.
It's the whole solution, like to your left, sis. To your right. Just turn your head. You see it. So yes, yes, acknowledge it, and then, like you said, get out of that victim mode. Stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "What can I do to fix this?" And I lived in that, and in my head, I lived in that, and so for so long. And to others, like a day or two might not be long, maybe long, but I was months in my head just, why is this happening to me? What did I do to be? I'm such a bad person, and it was all about what I was doing to myself, and I was victimizing myself. When in reality, the situations I was in were situations that I created or decisions that I made to get me there. A lot of people who go through these situations don't want to acknowledge that their decisions got them there. And I'm not saying that's every situation. There are a lot of situations where there are unforeseen, circumstances, and it's a lot going on. But a lot of decisions that we come from are decisions that we make. So when I woke up and it was like, I'm doing this shit to myself, like, girl, it's like, you remember that commercial, like, you had a V8 today, like, what's going on, sis? Wake up. So when you get out of that mode and you get out of that mindset, things definitely change for you.
Yes. I love that. So get yourself out of victim mode so that you can see the solutions to your problems.
Because there is no Captain Save a Hoe. Ain't nobody about to come save you. Excuse my language, but there's no shining white knight. There is no one that's going to sweep you off of your feet and solve your problems. And I'm not saying that there aren't good men. There definitely are good men. But if you're looking for someone that's going to come and change your situation, that's not going to happen. Because, I'm like, oh, I'm cute. Somebody going to save me. Girl, bye. I had to save myself. I had to realize that this is me. So when you get out of that, life changes. Life changes dramatically.
Yes. And you have to be a whole person to really make a relationship work. You can't come broken and be half-assing it, because usually when you give half of it and you're in a broken space, then you attract other people that are in a broken space. And then y'all are two
broken people. It's like that heart that you see with the broken pieces with that big tape over it. It's like, it's only so long that piece of tape gonna hold, So I definitely have to fix yourself. You have to deal with your emotions. And what I want people to understand is that even though you have to fix yourself in a relationship or before you become in a relationship, become whole, it's nothing wrong with fixing yourself while you're in a relationship. The issue comes from expecting the other person to fix you. Right. That's where the issue is. You can fix yourself while being in a relationship. That's not an issue. The issue is when you're looking at him to fix you, or her to fix you, or whomever. Then it's kind of like,
right. I hate when people say, oh, you got to bring 50-50 to a relationship because 50% is an F. So you bring in 2 Fs to make a double F.
Say it again.
You got to bring 100% of yourself, and then you will attract that other 100%, and both of you are whole, and you just come together to make a better.
I don't want 50% of nothing.
One another.
Yes.
So, listen, I cannot get enough of what's in my cup. I see that you have your cup. So, I think it's only right that we hit it to this next segment. And listen, all of you viewers out there, hopefully you have your cup with you. Put in the comments what you are drinking right now, because it is time for... Yes.
I just can't get... Sorry, I like music.
What's in your cup?
Yeah! What's in your cup, Bunnie Mae? Tell us.
So I have a peach mango Smirnoff smoothie.
Oh, wait, hold on. A peach mango Smirnoff smoothie.
So I took some Smirnoff.
Well, okay.
It's a peach mango combination, right? And you put, is it in the camera? Girl, I'm backwards. I done had too much. There we go. So you put it in the blender. You put some ice in there, and then I put some vanilla ice cream, and I put a little tequila in there. And I have a peach mango Smirnoff smoothie.
Okay. So Listen, you're going to have to put that recipe in the chat in a minute because where do you buy that peach Smirnoff at, okay? Look,
Listen.
she's keeping it healthy and drinking water. And Miss Deanna says,
Yes.
what? That sounds delicious, right? She better
It's
come
so
up with
good.
the recipe. I'm going to have to
I
go
see my
back.
eyes. Open my eyes. It's actually delicious. I'm trying to hold my eyes open. It's too good.
I'm going to have to watch the replay. Yeah, where did you even find that Smirnoff at?
It's just at the local liquor store. Like there's one maybe like 5 minutes from my house, which is listen, my fiance has they know me on a first name basis, okay? So,
So in my cup,
what you had in your cup?
what did you say was on your cup? Did you hold? Because you weren't drinking.
I have girl power. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I have
girl
children,
power.
so I have to kind of disguise.
It's okay.
Even though they know.
I'm drinking out of my daughter's cup.
Yes.
So the story behind this cup, one day we are in the store and my daughter, she had wanted this, like it was a whole little set. And I had said no, not because we didn't have the money or anything like that, but because she had just gotten a whole bunch of stuff. And so then next thing we know, like a few minutes later, somebody walks up to us and taps us and hands my daughter $10 talking about, oh, this is for you. We want to buy this for you.
Aww.
Girl, half of me was like, oh, that's so nice. But then the other half was like, wait, do you think I'm broke or something?
Listen, why does that bother us so much? Because it does me. Like, they gave my daughter like $20 to get a Barbie doll once. And I was like, I didn't buy it because I don't have the money. I bought it because she don't need it.
Woo, I swear I have to clean out her room like once a month. But this is her cup that she got last year in the whole little set. And so I was like, let me be a unicorn today because what's in my cup is I did a little bit of healthy, a little bit of non-healthy. So I went with was it pineapple Moscato or peach Moscato? It was a fruity Moscato. I poured that in there halfway. And then on the healthy side, I took some wild cherry sparkling water and I was in that too. So I was like, please don't dilute my wine, but no, it tastes good. Now it tastes like a sparkling wine.
That's good. Like, listen, I am an ex-drinker. So it's kind of like, look, don't dilute nothing I got in my cup, okay? I need it as strong as possible.
I didn't want to have too much because I still got some work to do tonight. So I was like, let me balance it out until I can fully relax. And then I can fill it up with more wine.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. So I want to get into this shoe line that you have, Miss Bunnie Mae. Shopwithsace.com. Let me put that on there. No, I can't put it on there because we got a secret surprise. So I'm going to show you that later. But recently you started a shoe line. So just tell us, where did that come from?
So, as you know, when you are a media correspondent, you are so often invited out to events. And you're invited to, whether it's just to show up for your presence, whether it's to show up to interview, or it's to show up just to, just to come out and so people know that you're there, or to promote, or whatever it is. So I went to so many events, and I have a very high arch in my foot, so I wear heels quite often. And every event I would go to, I had on heels. And I was just like, I love heels. It's always been a thing for me. And then fast forward, I received an influencer contract from Shoe Dazzle, right?
Ooh.
So it was so exciting for me. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I love heels. I started promoting heels and I was making them money. I was like, buku bread. I was like, okay. About 3 months into that, I actually landed an influencer contract with Steve Madden, another heel company. Yes. So I started promoting for them, and I also was making the money. I actually received emails saying, your discount code is just blowing off the chain, like you're doing a phenomenal job. And I just was like, I can sell some heels. And I love women. I love empowering women. And I think it's nothing sexier than a woman that has on some heels and you hear that little clack, clack, clack on the floor. You know they do it in movies. You hear that little clickety clack, you like clickety clack. But when we look good, we feel good. You know, so one of the things that I know is empowering is being able to feel good. And I want you to feel good. I want you to come shop with me and feel good. And not only that, but you're gonna get a whole lot of yes, sis. Go ahead, get that. Yes. So I started Safe. Actually, it's been 3 years in the making, but we officially just launched. You know, it's so crazy. We never really launched. It's just people's expectations were building. And I was like, you know what? Let me just throw them a bone and see what happens. And we sold out of 3 styles of shoes in 2 days.
Yes.
Yes. So I am very excited. So this is our signature. I don't know what's going on with me in this camera right now, but this is our signature. There we go.
Right there.
There we go. So this is our signature shoe. This is the Ushi bag.
Oh, okay.
We have tassels and a zipper, and then we have the chain. Now, what's really cool about this one is that, you know, we work so often with other brands and we promote other brands and we sell other brands. But this one, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this, girl, I'm tripping with this camera. I don't know what's going on with me. This way? There we go. This way. I don't know if y'all can see it, but inside of there, yeah, is our logo.
A little bit.
So if you guys can see it, a little bit up this way. Can you see it?
Barely. Like there's some print, but we can't see the actual
what
the print says.
I'm trying, but the print says. This is our personal shoe. This is our shoe design. We have created this shoe from beginning to end. This is our personal design. So not only are we a shoe company, but we have our own shoe line.
Nice. I love it. That is awesome.
What's going on with me today with this?
Listen, I need all of y'all to go and buy up these heels. I can't walk in heels anymore. When I was way younger, I could walk. I used to have some stilettos and all the different colors. I had these one red pumps that I loved, and then I had a silver pair of pumps that I loved. And as I got older, I just couldn't walk in heels as much. And then when I had my wreck in 2007, I definitely couldn't walk in heels. Honey, I could barely walk, period. So
one of the things that we actually have a lot of clients that have chronic illness or chronic pain. So a lot of the older women, they can't wear it because of their knees or their lower back. So we actually have heels that are designed with the foot doctor. I don't know why I'm struggling on this word right now. No more what's in your drink. But we actually have heels that we have specifically designed for women that have chronic pain. So this is not something this is not a fly-by store, right? So this is actually a community that we're building. We offer walk classes for women who don't know how to walk in heels. We offer walk etiquette, which is like what shoes to wear when. We don't want the young women walking out with 6-inch heels to a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like we are offering style suggestions, what outfits to wear with what heels, what's appropriate when. This is an entire community. So it's not just something that's like, oh, you know, we just sell shoes. No, baby. We sell a lifestyle, okay?
I love that. Because it's strange how our preferences change, because I used to hate wedges. Like, I was like, oh, I do not like wedges. But then these days, I love me some wedges because it's like, I can walk in wedges. Mm-hmm. Every now and then I might put on like a small heel, but really ever since the wreck, like just being able to walk in them it does a number on me as a whole. And I'm not trying to be like that wobbly elephant walking down the street, you know.
I'm not the one that's just gonna sell you a pair of heels just because I want to make a buck. Okay, listen, if you can't walk in them, I'm gonna tell you that's not for you.
Take the class.
We got some 2 flats over here.
I love that. So you're not just offering heels, you are offering the heels, but then you are also offering the lifestyle, a stylist to go with the heels. If you can't walk in heels, then you can come over here to the heel class and learn how to walk in heels. Who knew that there was such a thing? And this is why I love you, because you're just innovative and you are doing the damn thing.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so we actually have partnered with a runway coach because runway and model. We have a pageant coach, we have a runway coach, and then we have a walk coach. Which I'm the walk coach, but we have the runway coach and the pageant coach because we work with so many women that are entering contests or they're in fashion shows or they're in pageants and they don't really know how to kind of strut their stuff in heels. So it's not just the heels; it's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole community.
I love that. I love that. So where are you located? Are these classes in person or can people take them virtually online? How can they find these classes?
So right now, because we did a soft launch and people just went buku crazy, the virtual launches will be available July 1st. Once we open our storefront, which is the end of July, then we will offer in-person coaching. But right now, all of them are virtual just because we have such a big clientele like all over. So, yes.
Nice. So if you don't live in her area, then it's okay because you can do it virtually.
Call me, boo. I got you.
I think that this would be a perfect time. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments and I may get to them. You know, I'm always going to prioritize those that submitted their questions in advance because, you know, you got, I see that little Put it on the screen. Yes.
You know I'm struggling with the side of the screen. No, there we go.
Yeah, right there. Oh, yes. You making me want to go shopping.
Yes, questions. Let's talk some questions. Let's do anything from media to heels to my personal story, whatever. I am an open book. Talk to me.
Yes. Put your questions in the chat right now, but the people that are going to get their questions for sure answered are those ones that submitted it in advance. So you either had to comment it on one of the posts or send me a message or respond to my emails. Listen, this is why it pays to not procrastinate, okay? But if you didn't do that, it's okay. You can put it in the comments. And we might get to it, we might not. We just have to see. But now it is officially time for that part of the show where we find out
30-second hot shot.
It's time to take your shot with the 30-second hot shot. Get it? Take your shot.
Shoot your shot, sis.
Listen, you have to either take, I need to make that a thing. So if you don't get it in 30 seconds, you got to take a shot. It can be a shot of liquor if you want to keep it fun. It can be a shot of water. It can be a shot of tea. I'm not forcing nobody to drink if you don't want to drink. Okay. But listen.
Take a shot of something.
Yeah, yes. You can fill your shot up with grape juice. All right. Let me get my timer. Stopwatch. All right. So I am going to
bad on the clock, y'all. I am so bad on the clock.
I'm not going to start the time until after I ask the questions. Okay.
All right.
And yes, I hold my card up like this because.
Oh, your cards are beautiful.
Well, thank you. I got to get it updated with my new updated logo, but yes. So I have the questions that were pre-submitted on the other side of here.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me make sure I'm not covering them up. Get the stopwatch ready. You ready for your first question? It's time to take a shot. So Miss Keisha Kent says, describe your networking process as it relates to bringing new people to the table. What's your approach? Need me to read that again?
Nope. We got it.
Okay, so you ready?
Yes.
Go.
So my approach is talk to everyone. Literally, whether you know them, whether you know a friend of theirs, whether you just think they have some nice shoes on, whether you like their hair, it doesn't matter. Open your mouth and speak. You never know who someone is or who someone may be connected to. I always circle the room. Every time I go to an event, I circle the room from one door to the other. I make sure that I connect with at least 5 people in each room before I leave. Time's up. I hope that answers your question.
Technically, you made it in there, like right at the clock. Right at the clock.
Yeah, smack on in there.
let me reset the timer again. And so that's crazy because anytime that I go out, I usually circle the room, but I never thought to circle the room as far as networking. Usually when I circle the room, it's like, all right, I want to know who's in this space because I am very mindful of who I surround myself with. And so if I'm going somewhere and it's a whole bunch of shady people, like I'm not trying to be associated with that. Or maybe if they're going to be over there, I need to make sure I'm staying over here. Or if it's like, okay, these people is cool. Yeah, like I think I got some new friends. So like I'm more of a circle in the room to figure out who's in my environment that I'm currently in. So I never thought about it in a way of like, all right, who can I network with? That's pretty cool.
I literally, so a lot of people think that I network with celebrities, which I do. But to be honest, I network with the publicists for the celebrity because they are not only connected to just that celebrity, but they have about 5 or 6 celebrities in their trajectory, right? So your mindset is focused on, oh, it's a celebrity, they're good, they're connected, they're this. No, honey, let's get to their manager, let's get to their publicist, let's get to the ones who actually make the moves for them. So yes, so I talk to everyone because you never know who you don't know, right?
Right. So, are you ready for your next question?
Come on with it. Let's see 30 seconds. See if I can do it.
Hey, boo. Hey, Miss Simone. Thanks for tuning in. If you got any questions, post them below. All right. So, I got my timer ready. The next question is from Ashley James, and she says, you interview a lot of celebrities. How did you get started? How does one get started in doing something like that? Go.
Just start. It's literally what she said. Shoot your shot. Like slide in the DMs, sis. Send those emails out, sis. Like don't let the fear of who they are as a title deter you from reaching out. You never know who is willing to help the small bloggers, who's willing to help the small personalities. You never really know who's connected to who. So just reach out, shoot your shot. You never know. And even if you don't get them, you may have to build your way up, but just keep going. Shot. Everybody.
Wait. Hold on. We don't do that. Okay. Yes. That was awesome. Let me double check, make sure. See if there's any more questions. Yes. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we have one more question. If you guys have any questions, get them in the comments right now for a 30-second hot shot where Miss Bunnie Mae has to attempt to answer your question in 30 seconds or less. Okay, so this next question was from Anonymous, and it says, so how did you get out of your abusive relationship?
Right? So, I'm tired.
Go ahead. Yes.
So this is a little more than 30 seconds, but it took for me to realize that I needed to leave, right? So like my friends, they wanted me to leave, my family wanted me to leave, but I left and I kept going back until I realized that it was a decision that I had to make and that I was ready. I knew that I had to make changes because, like I said, I have a daughter. I have 2 daughters now, but I had one daughter at the time, and I had to set the example for her. So I definitely made sure that I left. And I literally, you guys, when I say I left with nothing, I had no car. I had no clothes. I had nowhere to go. I had a cell phone that I was struggling to pay $50 a month for. I left with nothing. I went to a domestic violence shelter in Pontiac, Michigan, if you guys are familiar with that area. I went to a shelter out there, and I just bared my soul. I told them, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to turn to. I was too prideful to go to my family and tell them that I needed help, even though they pretty much already knew. So I literally left with nothing on my back, and it was just me and my daughter. And it wasn't easy to build from that, but it's possible. You can do it.
Yeah.
And anyone who's going through that situation, believe that you can do it, but know that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. It's almost like when they say, the physical, like when you go to the gym and they say it's your mind, your body can handle more. It's your mind that you have to train. It's the same thing with leading relationships. Yep, you can handle way more than you give yourself credit for. So when you realize that, and you realize that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for, then you're able to leave that situation. And I pray for anyone that's in that situation, I pray you find the strength to leave. I pray that nothing harmful continues to happen to you and your family, but at some point you have to realize that you have to leave. You have to make the decision, because they're not going to let you leave. You have to leave for yourself.
Right. I turned off the timer on that one because I feel like it's so important. No, because I feel like that is important, because there are so many people that are in abusive relationships. And here's the thing, abuse doesn't always look like the physical abuse. Usually when we abusive relationship, we just think, oh, he's throwing me out a window and punching on my face. But abusive relationships, they can be mentally abusive, they can be emotionally abusive. So you have to think about that. I love like that you said you have to want to leave and then get yourself out of that situation, because oftentimes like we know there's an issue, but until we actually try to remove ourselves, sometimes it's hard to really see how big the issue was. What were you about to say?
I had a friend and she never told me to leave, like ever. And one day I asked her, I said, and this stuck with me. This is beyond 10 years later, right? And I asked her, I said, why you never, like, you don't hate him. You never said, like, girl, you need to leave him. And she told me, she said, I can talk to you until you're blue in the face, but until you're ready to leave, you're not going to leave him. And when she said that, it clicked. And this is something that not only applies to that relationship, but it applies to how I maneuver in life, right? So until you're ready to do something, you're going to keep going back to that bad relationship until you hit it in your head that you need to leave, or that things need to change, or you need to make better decisions. Like when she said that, it kind of made me realize, like, I have the power to leave. This is not, I'm waiting on somebody to tell me to leave when I had the power to leave the entire time. So that was something that it really hit home for me. That, and of course, my daughter's reaction to us arguing, like that just was something that it just had to change. It had to change. And when she said that, it was like, we aren't even friends to this day, but that's something that's stuck in my head. Like I tell other people that now because it meant so much to me.
Yes. And I think people like try to family dynamic, like, oh, I'm going to stay in this because I don't want a broken home, but your home's already broken. Like, what are you teaching your children by staying in that relationship? Because they're watching what you're doing, and there's a high chance that they're going to go out into the world and end up in the same type of relationship because that's what they learned was their idea.
And that's all that they know. And then that's what they're going to tolerate because that's what they saw their mom tolerate. And that was a huge thing for me as well, is that I never saw my mother tolerate that. So it kind of hit me like, girl, what you doing? Like, your mama taught you better than this. Like, I never saw her being in an abusive relationship or arguing. Like, even when she did argue, like, it was behind closed doors. So it was something that I didn't really see growing up, and it affected me because I was like, this isn't normal. This isn't right. And it plays in your head. But until I was ready to acknowledge that it wasn't right, I kept going back.
Right.
Yes. So I hope that this helps someone. I really do. Like, that's a huge part of me is that, and I know I'm going to start being more vocal about using that aspect of my life to help women. I love my heels. Don't get me wrong. I love my heels. I'm going to continue to wear them, and I'm going to continue to teach y'all how to wear them. But that's another aspect of my life that I'm definitely stepping out on the limit and kind of expressing myself more and using myself as a testimony to say, it's okay. You're not a bad person because of what you went through, or that time in your life doesn't define who you are.
Yeah. I love that. So let's get into it. Like, what is up next for Miss Bunnie Mae? I know you just launched SACE. So do you have anything else going on? Like, what's next for you?
Well, right now we are focusing on SAFE. Like that is a huge dynamic of what we're launching. I will return back to our interview platform. Like the Bunny Hole is definitely coming back, revamped, renewed, and I'm also working on my wedding. So I've done so much outside of myself that this has kind of been the year that everything that I started remodeling my house. I've started, hanging out with my kids more. Like this is the year that I'm doing the things that I've worked so hard to get to the level to be able to do. This is the year that I'm actually taking advantage of that. So yes, we are launching SACE. Yes, we are relaunching the Bunny Hole platform. But there are a lot of personal dynamics going on right now too. And I'm at that. I'm 31 now, but I think that 30 mark is just now kicking in. Like, sis, you over 30. Like, you can do what you want. Like, I can officially cuss out old people at the grocery store. Like, it's okay.
Sometimes them old folks need it. Like,
listen, let me tell you, my fiance has a podcast. It's called "It's Not an Effing Podcast," and he asked the question, and he said, "If an old lady popped you because you were cussing in line, what are you gonna do?" And I said, "I'm gonna pop her back." Like, what you mean? I'm gonna pop her back? Like, stop playing with me. Like, we grown now, and me growing up in the church and me having a father as a pastor, it's so crazy to hear me say that, but I'm so comfortable with who I am now and where I've grown to be that I'm kind of like, yo, sis, I'm not taking that old or young. You're not about to pop me.
so as we wrap it up, I do have to ask you our signature question here because you know that I'm all about happiness. My audience knows that I'm all about creating intentional happiness for your life, which quick shameless plug, make sure that you purchase your copy of First Class Life, 10 Key Factors to Create a Life Full of Purpose, Fulfillment, and Happiness. You can get it at firstclasslifebook.com. Yes. So I am all about creating that intentional happiness and really impacting the quality of life that you live, because you always have that choice to be a victim or a victor. You always have that choice to live in negativity or to live in positivity. So it is time for me to ask that signature question. How do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
I intentionally create happiness by choosing happiness every day. I have been through so many situations. I have overcome so much that it's very easy to slip into a depression. It's very easy to backslide. It is very easy to have negative thoughts or to have self-doubt. So every morning I wake up, I tell myself every day, I choose to be happy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people see me and they're like, "Oh, you're so bubbly, you're so fun." And I'm like, that's because y'all don't want to see who on the other side of this. She ain't rap too tight, okay? Some of the happiest people are some of the ones that's not rap too tight. You understand me? So every morning I get up and of course I pray, but I also tell myself, like, today we're gonna be happy. Today we're gonna choose to be happy. And actually forgiving myself, working with myself and being patient with myself, because happiness comes from me. So knowing that, I'm holding myself accountable for my decisions, but I'm not holding myself, I'm not holding it over my head, right? So I'm not bagging myself every day for the decisions that I've made. I'm not beating myself up every day for making a mistake. It's like, okay, we made a mistake. Let's fix it. Let's go on. Let's move on. Life goes on. So one of the biggest things that I tell myself and I tell my children is that, today we're going to be happy. We're going to have a good day today. You know how your mom always tells you, like, she doesn't want to be irritated today. She'd be like, we're going to have a good day today, right? Like, I literally tell myself that. I literally talk to myself as if I'm my mother talking to me, like, today's going to be a good day, right? And I tell myself that, I tell my children that, and it's something that I literally live by. Like, even when people get on my nerves, I'm like, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Right.
It's a good day.
Right.
It's a good day.
Right. I love it. I love it. So listen, if you guys want to make sure that you stay updated for future episodes of the Happy Hour Show, make sure that you go to bit.ly/happy updates. Because not only will you get updates about future episodes or special airings, but we also have exclusive happy hour specials only for those that are subscribed to the updates. Okay. So with that said, I know Miss Bunnie Mae has a discount code for you, the viewers. But then if you are actually on the update list here, you get a separate code with a higher discount because you are getting a happy hour special. Okay. So if you want the good discount, then you better make sure you subscribe to Happy Hour Show updates right there below. Okay. So share with us where they can find your shoes. Share with us the special that you have for the viewers.
Yes, so you can find our shoes, including our signature shoe. Boop, 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 boop. You can find it at shopswithsace.com. That's shopswithseis.com. Yeah, it's okay. It's just an S in there. And yep, shopswithsafe.com. And if you use the code Happy Hour, then you get 10% off. And then if you are on the prescription list, you can use. Oh wait, should I not say that?
Oh yeah, don't share that one.
They don't want to share that. Yes, they use Happy Hour.
Yes, they got to be on the email list for the Happy Hour Show to get the higher discount code. So if you aren't subscribed, you better subscribe now at bit.ly. Here, let me share it with you real fast. Subscribe right now if you want the better discount code because it's a happy hour special. Okay, it's exclusive to subscribers. But for everybody else, use the code Happy Hour to get 10% off your purchase at shopswithsace.com so you can buy your sassy heels, honey.
We just got in our classic black pump.
Okay.
Every girl needs a classic black pump.
I used to have a pair like that, and I had them in red, and I had them in silver too.
Ooh, are you seeing?
Those all been long gone.
We're still adding inventory because, like I said, we actually pre-launched and it kind of just took off. So we are adding new inventory every week. So if you guys don't see anything then make sure you check back every week. You definitely are going to see something that you're going to like, you're going to love, and you make sure you grab our, we said speak life, speak what you want to see. Exactly. Yes. But you guys, will be adding more of the flats. The only thing I will not be adding are kitten heels. I promise you that will not. And you know, my fiance is going to kill me for saying this live, but I just have a huge distaste for those things. I would rather you wear flats if you're going to deal with me.
Don't wear no kitten heels around Miss Bunnie Mae.
Please don't, because I will eyeball you. I will give you that.
Girl, what you got on?
I'll be like, ooh, girl, what size you wear? I got some flats right here. People like, I'm sick of you. I can't stand you. But wedges are completely acceptable. Flats are acceptable. We'll be adding all of that to our inventory. So make sure you guys hop in and shop with Faith.
Yes, I'm going to have to take the walking in heels class for the back pain and everything so that I can get back to wearing those big old stilettos and those pumps.
Yes, and we actually, there you go. We actually have exercises that you can use at home. One of the things that I like to teach is you can take a tennis ball and actually roll your foot. Just even can be something while you're just sitting there. Just put a tennis ball down and roll your foot on that tennis ball. It loosens the muscles in your feet and in your calf, and it kind of prepares your feet just to kind of be more relaxed when you get into those heels. So unless you have a high arch, let's be real, heels are uncomfortable. But there are certain things that you can do to make them more comfortable, and that's one of the exercises that I teach. Is you just put that tennis ball on. I actually like to use a water bottle that's frozen because it's cold and it kind of gives you that extra little oomph. Or you can heat it up and use it hot, whatever. Just something that rotates your foot and kind of just roll your foot around on the tennis ball or the water bottle, roll it back and forth, and just use that. And it loosens up all those muscles that you haven't used in so long. And it kind of relieves a lot of the pain the pressure that you put on your knees and on your back.
Nice, nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, this show was hot like fire. I want to thank my guests. Yes, thank you for sharing that tip. I know I'm going to be using it. Shoot, that just sounds like it'll even feel good on the feet.
It actually is just really relaxing. Like you could be sitting there watching TV. I love Family Guy. So I sit there and watch Family Guy and I just roll my foot back and forth and then switch it over and roll the other one. If you have like chronic pain, you can actually put a water bottle behind the back of your knees, heat up the water, not the bottle. For the water, I have to explain that. Heat up the water, pour it into a water bottle, place it behind the back of your knees, and then fold your leg. Just kind of fold your leg over, and then hold that in there for about 15 minutes, and that actually is going to relieve a lot of the pressure that you have in your knees. So, like I said, this is not just me selling heels. This is actually me working with women. Like, I just want to empower you. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to come back and buy some heels. Like, all of that.
Yes, buy those heels. Oh yeah, and a cheap way to do those exercises. See,
very cheap.
You don't have to cost a lot of money.
Listen, everyone can't afford to go to the chiropractor or the foot doctor. I don't know, the podiatrist. There we go. Everyone, I don't know why I was struggling with that word. But the podiatrist or to the chiropractor. So definitely some at-home exercises you can use. Something that's cheap, it's affordable, it's quick, it's easy. You probably got it in your kitchen right now.
Yes. So I want to thank my guest, Miss Bunnie Mae, again, influencer, blogger, CEO of the Bunnie Hole, and CEO of Sace, where it's not just about buying heels, but it's a whole lifestyle. She will get you from how to walk in heels to the right outfit to wear with the heels to when to wear what heel when, okay?
We do it all, honey.
Sign up for updates to stay updated on future episodes of the Happy Hour Show and to receive exclusive Happy Hour specials like Miss Bunnie Mae has given us. And make sure you tune in every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. Next week, I will be back with a new guest and we will be talking all things life. Okay. So thank you for watching. And that is a wrap for episode 2. Let's have it. Yeah.